You used to call me on my side.
Let's dive into this one now.
It's time to get beyond the drill bit with Beneath the Surface. Hey everybody, welcome back to our second podcast here with Beneath the Surface at Deepwell Services. If you missed our first one, go back and check it out. You got to meet myself and Andrew Bieber. He's my co-host. We went into a little bit in depth about some of our background, what we like to do, kind of just getting in on what we are and who we are. Right? So our first guest today is Chris Solliday. He is our Procurement Coordinator here at Deepwell Services. So Chris works pretty close to me. I see him all the time, joke around. We have a pretty good working relationship. So hopefully it flows into our podcast today. So Chris, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little about yourself, a little bit of background outside of work.
Yeah, so like Kyle said, I'm Chris Solliday, Procurement Coordinator here at Deepwell Services. Been with the company now 2.5 years or so. I'm actually from this area. I moved to Cranberry Township when I was a real little kid in 1994. I went to Seneca Valley 1st through 12th grade. And after that, I went to Penn State, and I graduated from Penn State about 10 years ago or so now. I've worked a couple of various jobs after college in writing and procurement and purchasing. Yeah, I can't believe 2.5 years here at Depot, man. It's flown by.
So, typical day for you. What's it look like? What does your day get into? What are some of the stresses that you run into? Maybe some of the mountains you got to climb daily.
Yeah, there are some hurdles to overcome for sure. Some of the biggest things we're attacking right now and trying to beat up on is some of the pricing. Kind of joke around with some of the guys on our team. I say, we get to live every woman's dream, right? We get to just purchase and buy all day long, right? It definitely comes with its hurdles. We've been trying to lock in pricing with certain vendors. We have several critical vendors here in Appalachia that we use that we've negotiated pricing on and then try to navigate some of the lead times. The lead times probably is some of the biggest things. I process quotes all the time that have 10, 16, 20 week lead times. So it's just, a matter of going through and picking some of our A, B, C, D vendors to try to, acquire items as quickly as possible at the best price we can. And it can be extremely challenging, but we have a really good team here and really good resources here at Deepwell Services to get everything that we need in a timely manner for sure.
I mean, with the growth of the company, I'm sure that's always crazy, adding 3-4 units or whatever we're going for that
sure.
year.
Yeah.
So with that, do you ever have, your vendors supply extra stuff for us or have them hold it for us and then we can get a hold of it?
Yeah, we have many vendors that will hold things in shop. We actually have some vendors that will do what's called VMI, vendor managed inventory. They'll kind of go through the shop and pick out what's low, what's needed, and let the warehouse guys know, hey, as are low on stock of, and they'll relay a message to us, and we can order accordingly that way. And it's funny, Kyle, you mentioned the units, right? Yeah, like buying them all from CRW. I think we just purchased Snub 35 a couple months ago, so yeah, things are rolling quickly.
What are some wins for your department this year?
Throughout this whole year, we've utilized what's called a cost savings tracker. It's an Excel spreadsheet we keep with some of our running POs that we have like blanket pricing on. We have a bunch that are, if we see something where we're saving $50 here, $80 here, $115 there, we'll go ahead and do it. And, we'll add the cost savings to the tracker. And it's funny. We just had a big one from Gilson Engineering, one of our board site vendors. We just went through that one and there was probably a few $1,000s in savings on that. Buying, in volume ahead of time for 2024. So that's definitely one way we could save money. That's a win for us, paying attention to that cost savings tracker, looking at the dollars and cents of that. I've been really involved in the Haynesville setup, setting up our vendors that we have in the Haynesville. I know we have several units there right now. I think we have 3 or 4 units working there. So it's been really fun and exciting and challenging at the same time to set up new vendors in the Haynesville region. It's kind of cool though to talk to some of these people on the phone that live 2,000 miles away, and you kind of have a little bit of rapport with these people that you talk to, over the phone. And, we've also hired 2 new people this year. In 2023, we've hired Derek Menzel, another purchaser, and we have Brady Callahan, another procurement coordinator as well. So they've been big wins for us. Been helping us in our growth, our advancement as a team and as a company, right? We've only gotten bigger since I've been here. So additional employees, and it's been huge, man. They've been a great help, and they're really good guys.
So basically, you're running all the POs for all 3 of our locations, plus any remote work we do, straight through you, pretty much.
Yeah, we have 2 procurement purchasers in Texas, Adrian Garcia and Sarah Donica. Yeah, we have a lot of collaboration and synergy with them. We meet once a week for a weekly update. Yeah, we talk about lead times, purchasing, what's on hand, what we need to order, what's coming down the pipeline. Sarah, Adrian kind of tackle the Midland area and some of the Haynesville as well. And there's 6 of us within the company.
So pretty big spread, but still you had a lot on your shoulders till we got all those divisions up and rolling.
Yep.
He gets to work with the other Cress, right? So different spellings right across the hallway from my boss, right? So. What are some of the things you do in your spare time outside of work?
I'm really into working out. I love to run, love to lift weights. I love to fly fish and hunt. I'm a member here at the Zillionople Sportsman's Club, about a half mile from the shop. We do trout stockings and stuff for all the members, usually once or twice a month. And it's actually been pretty cool. We have quite a few deep well employees that are members at the Sportsman's Club. So, we'll go down there, we'll go fishing together on the weekends and go shooting there quite a bit. They have a big rifle range, so we could go there and do some long distance shooting. And I was pretty stoked this year. I got a nice buck with my bow. I think I brought some of the meat in for Josh to try, and you've had some. That adds to the camaraderie of the company as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff about, having everybody there and everybody. I mean, we're all pretty much Western PAers here. Lunchtime, shooting range, you can't beat that here at Depot. So just driving in that family feeling, and we all kind of do work together. Mm-hmm. We actually spend time with each other outside of work, which is not always what office people do, right?
Yeah, it's funny you say that, man. I've worked at a large company before I came to Deep Well Services. Yeah, there was none of that. There was no like team lunches, team building exercises. Kind of made it a gloomy, just a 9-to-5 grind. It just, I don't know. There was no family atmosphere. There was no culture. There was no, hey, I got your back, brother. Or, hey, what are you doing this weekend? Or, hey, how you feeling? There was really none of that existent. Here at Deep Well, you're not just a number. You're an employee, right? You're a first name and a handshake and a how you doing.
Right. And I feel like that stayed the same. Like I got here and there was like 50-ish of us when I got here. Got here around the time the first standalone showed up.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's been a while. Now there's over 600 people here to get all together. Yeah. You take the good with the bad, but I'm going to say the good far outweighs it here. I mean, everybody has really stayed pretty true, which is nice. Right? I really feel like that does show through. Yeah,
the culture definitely shines here. Yeah, corporate culture is what I've had at every job post-college. Straight-laced, super tight. You couldn't be yourself.
Here you get to be yourself. You can be a little weird. It's all right.
Yeah. There's someone that'll, you can get along with, for sure.
So you've been here for almost 3 years now. It's going on that 3-year mark. I know you said 2.5, but you're marching right towards that.
Man.
What is the biggest factor that made you stay at Deep Well Services?
Number one is the team atmosphere. It's just the people here, man. It's just the people. Everybody here has been super friendly, super nice. All the charity events that we get to participate in, I think that's so cool. It's nice to give back to the community. It's so cool to see that happen firsthand. Not to harp on it again, but yeah, the culture here is just unbelievable. It'll keep me here for as long as these doors stay open.
That's good. Always, that longevity and having that ability to really build. I mean, everybody in this company moves. As you've seen, different positions over the years and just kind of continuously on the upward incline.
Yeah.
Where do you want to end up, right?
Yeah. Well, I've kind of taken over so much of the vendor setup with reaching out to vendors and setting up all of our vendors throughout both of our basins. I would really like to get more into that niche and kind of manage that someday and be the main vendor coordinator. I think that's where I've learned a lot. I've taken a lot of chances along the way of learning, the ins and outs of what it takes to be a tier 1 vendor, a tier 3 vendor, a non-critical vendor, what state are they in, what kind of services they provide. I've really kind of keyed in on that, and I would love to expand and learn more and maybe develop into that role for sure.
I could see that definitely happening as we continue to grow, add units to the fleet, add basins to our, as our businesses, we're starting to move out into that Wyoming area and Colorado.
I've had several of those. Action Energy Services is actually one I was just speaking with last week. It's been pretty cool the last month or two purchasing items for Saudi, all the BOPs and stuff like that. I think there's been a couple different POs that have been approved for the, Saudi Aramco stuff. So that to me is super exciting. This would be the first time in my career I've ever purchased anything that's going to go overseas that I know for sure is going to go overseas. It's been really cool. It's funny to think that someday there might be a snub 50.
Yeah.
Just thought about that, right?
Yeah.
We're already deep into the 30s now. It's like, man, maybe in a few years there could be snub 50, snub 55. I don't know. I have to get creative with these names as they go along.
Oh, I know. We're getting up there in names. We're running out of them, I think.
Yeah.
We're going to have to make out a new division, right? Like I worked for a customer and all their wells in Ohio were monster trucks.
Oh.
And all their wells in Pennsylvania were superheroes. So like you worked on the Spider-Man pad, but then you went to Ohio and you're working for the Gravedigger pad. So
Very
maybe
cool.
we'll have to divert from styles of military to maybe just some American stuff or something like that, right?
Yeah, maybe some like weird pop culture stuff. Who knows?
Yeah, that could definitely be a road we head down.
Prince.
Yeah, the Prince. There we go. You should definitely pull the company for that one.
Yeah, right. We'll have a little questionnaire, like maybe have 5 or 6 different names, see what we come up with. That'd actually be pretty sweet. That'd be fun.
Now that you've been here, right, and how has Deepwell really made a difference in your life or become part of your life, right?
Yeah, I've made some great friendships here. Deepwell affecting my life is one of the biggest things is like whatever you want to do here at Deepwell Services can accommodate that, right? There's a charity you want to discuss and talk about and try to pursue. Deepwell Services chime right in, help out, pull resources. You can almost create your own role here. There's like the flexibility, the freedom here, the support to kind of make a role up, whatever is your specialty, whatever you want to do. Deepwell Services has shown to me that, yeah, man, let's roll with that. Let's try that. Deepwell gives you kind of the freedom to tailor your career and to make you be the individual that you want to be. I've seen supervisors come from the field, become trainers now too. I think that's so cool, right? They can provide their wealth of knowledge to new hires and kind of see the full circle of like, wow, this guy was out in the field supervising. Now he's here teaching and becoming a trainer and owning that role. That's what I think is just awesome as we continue to grow as well, right? Yeah, it's crazy to think almost 3 years now. I've literally seen it just, the company sail, so many cool new people, so many cool new things going on. I'm very excited for next year. Very.
And I can totally agree with that. I mean, if you look at just a couple of us, like, Brian came from the field, right? Our president.
Yeah.
As a superintendent and then moved into that role and kind of ran with it, right? A lot of us came from the field and we kind of grew with the company. And that's what's nice here is, we feel like we're an established company. We're Deepwell. Like we have a name. We're kind of known everywhere.
Yeah.
We're still young. We're still a baby.
Oh, yeah,
we're still growing. We're still trying to figure stuff out. We're still, learning from mistakes. But that's one thing I can say here. When we do have a mistake, unlike anywhere else, man, there's a spare of that sitting in the shop. There's a spare one on my unit, and there's a spare one on the 20 other units in our fleet.
A lot of learning along the way, but yeah, it is cool to have this sense of Deepwell pride. Whenever I go out places somewhere, people see my hat or shirt and say, "Oh, you work at Deepwell?" I'm like, "Yeah, man." They're like, "Oh, yeah, I always see your guys' trucks everywhere." So, yeah, it's pretty cool to have that little Zillionople community shop have the reach that we have.
We're moving into different ventures next year. Talked about Saudi,
Yeah.
IASA. So, I mean, it's just been kind of amazing to be here and kind of see all this stuff. It is. Deepwell you can find a spot here. I mean, even Boresight, right? We grew that.
Yeah, my gosh, that is crazy to think. It was DAS, Snubwell, now Boresight. And I do a lot of the purchasing for Sean Peck Morgan and those guys over there. And it's funny, down the hallway from here was their testing, training, supply room, whatever, everything, right? Like, and now they have a huge department over there, out front, and they actually have like a research and development area. And it's pretty cool to see some of the things that I buy for them on their shelves, on their tables, on their desks, and it's exciting to see. And then I know they're poised for some big growth next year as well. So very exciting to see that come along.
Now we're gonna move into some rapid fire questions about Deepwell. Let's bounce into Kahoot. What kind of animal does John have? Well, you can't say it out loud. You gave me an answer.
I did.
I'm winning.
Who tackled Adam, the mass criminal, in our cybersecurity video?
I am failing at this game. Next question.
Gray has the West Virginia University Mountaineer mascot on
I like the color blue.
it. Yeah. I believe it's the Apollo.
No, wow, yeah. That's the Apollo, but I don't remember what unit it is. Hey, we both got it right.
Oh, it is
See?
24. I know it's not 26.
I went by color.
I know it's not 26. And those other 2 units are in Texas.
What is the name of our CFO, Miss Carol Noggles, German short-haired pointer? Oh, I know this one. I know this one.
Man.
Wrong.
Ah.
I thought it was blue. It's Bew. What'd you pick? Oh,
I picked the correct answer.
you did. You win. I thought it was.
Boom.
All right, number 5. I'm still gonna lose. Outside of Morgan O'Brien, our VP of Engineering Analytics, what is his hometown Bradford, PA famous for? Oh. No, this one I actually did get right. Yeah. Zippo and Case.
Yeah.
That's what's up there.
Letters.
Yeah. Hey, I got second.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Everybody needs a runner-up, right?
That's right. I got second and third, actually. So, like, if you add them together, I win. Now that we've answered all the questions, we had our guest here, Christopher. We're going to start our wrap-up. It's my DJ wrap-up there.
Yeah.
So, we appreciate you coming out and checking out the podcast and being on the podcast.
This has been fun.
Yeah. Having a conversation, getting to meet kind of the field guys get to meet you. Right? You're always stuck in the office. You may not get to meet some of the hands outside of the guys you run into at new hires. This gives us kind of deep dive into you, right?
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate you checking out Beneath the Surface today, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
Thanks, guys.